This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. I hope you all had a great weekend. Happy Monday to everybody out there, and just trying to kick the week off with some good momentum and good energy so we can get some racing in and have a fantastic week. So again, I hope you're all well out there in the world of sim racing. I didn't get to do as much racing over the weekend as I'd liked. I did a little more studio correction and improvement, just trying to get things dialed in. I think we've got it. I think this green screen we've got for today's show is about as good as it's been yet. We're going to hopefully have that for our next racing stream now that we've kind of optimized certain aspects of the studio. It is really starting to come around, and ultimately, I feel like I'm not getting content out quick enough. So everything I'm doing here is really trying to optimize the future so we can be a little more efficient moving forward. So with that said, let's get into today's sim racing news. A little light on news today, and I have not actually gone through all the stories, but that's okay. We're going to go through them and see what's going on. I think the biggest thing, if you're a fan of this show, if you're part of this pit crew, there are a few streamers. A few of you are here. Dan, Devin might be here. Even we could say Dave, Shaun. Sorry if I'm leaving anybody out, but one person I'm leaving out right now is Mike. This would be Simracing 604. Mike of Simracing 604 has decided to call it quits. Not a lot of reason behind the story, but if you watch Simracing 604, he's a great opinion on certain things in sim racing and a trusted site of over 14,000 subscribers. So it's a real shame. He's a great guy. Mike's one of the good ones out there, and he's really going to be missed quite a bit by a lot of the community for sure. So this is a kind of a big blow to sim racing. He hasn't ruled out some kind of a return, so there is the potential. He is very graceful in his exit and appreciative of the fans and the people who've got him as far as he has. So I just want to give a big shout out to Mike and tell him personally, I'm going to miss you. You've been a big part of the community. You've been a big part of the pit crew as well and part of our channel. And I think you've been one of those ones. I think of it like the Olympic ring. It was me and a handful of sites who really play well together and work with a similar community. So I personally will miss you. Farewell and the best of luck to you. And I hope we see your return soon. Yeah, that's the thing, Stuart. He was such a nice guy. He was such a calm, cool guy. He was just you could tell he was good people. I like to say good people when you meet one of those people who you just, you'd give them the key to your front door and just trust that person. So anyway, hopefully we'll see and hear more from him. He's not turning his back on sim racing. And again, he has left the door open for some sort of a return. So we can cross our fingers and hope. So that to me is the biggest news. Forget everything else going on in sim racing. To me, that is the big news and the biggest story of the day. So anyway, sorry and sad to hear that. Formula One want to qualify for the F1 eSport 2020? Well, you've got till midnight. That's tonight. They just posted this 23-hour. This was last night. Shit. Push-ups, Cole. You got to do 10. But you know what? That was worth it. A mistake that bad. This is a non-story. This was yesterday's news. I thought it was midnight tonight. Too bad. Yeah, it really is a bummer. Life, yes. Shaun, Pro Sim Racing, mentioned, sometimes life gets in the way, and there can be so many different factors. Most of us are doing these jobs from our homes, so maybe the power went out because the wind's blowing. Maybe the family obligations have stepped in. Maybe your real work called you in for more hours in the case of Billy Strange being taken away from Friday. So, when it's your hobby, when it's a low-paying job, whether it be a hobby or a low-paying job, it's easy for it to have to take a back seat to other things. So I'm sure that's part of the case there. What else? Ooh, this crashed. Wow, we're heck of a show. What was our Gran Turismo? Oh, little thing here. I haven't listened to it yet because I was just pulling the show together, and I don't even know if you could call this news as much as just some of you might want to go check it out. So this is at Gran Turismo, their Twitter page, and talking to some of their GT Sport Academy, and not Academy, competition drivers. You can see they're all on their FIA GTC drivers is what they go by. Just how much faster is a steering wheel compared to a controller? Any of you, if you've watched it, please let me know. Let me know if, injuries get in the way as well, don't they? Yes. We had two drivers fall out of the last race due to injury. Anyway, this might be worth your listening to find out their thoughts and opinions. I will definitely watch this later and actually listen to their responses to the ultimate question from a gamer. I don't mean gamer. These guys are hardcore racers, but they are running on a console platform. So the age-old question of how much faster is a steering wheel compared to a controller, and we could argue all day long. I think it's possible for somebody who's come from only consoles to jump on even something like an iRacing, Assetto Corsa rFactor 2, and if they are really dialed in on the controller, they're going to be able to perform at that top level. I firmly believe it. They have that dexterity. Yeah, it's a shame that YouTube doesn't make any money. I mean, it's a shame. If they made just a little bit of money, maybe they could kick some down to their creators. Wouldn't that be a fascinating thing? So anyway, cool concept, cool idea. And then as I was saying also about the controller versus steering wheel, in my opinion, I firmly believe that somebody who's just a very talented Forza or Gran Turismo driver who's done it on a controller at the highest levels has the dexterity and ability to drive any sim that way. And I dare say there are certain sims that I even think might be easier or faster using a controller. I'll use Wreckfest as an example. I think it's pretty arguable which is faster or slower. I think when it comes to iRacing, when it comes to Assetto Corsa rFactor 2, for me personally, I am faster with a wheel, but that's me. That's my ability. It's how it translates well to me. Simracing Source tried a controller on iRacing. It was terrible. I think I did a video on it not that long ago, a couple years ago. So, yes. Joa's right. What about transition from automotive interest to motorsport? I'm not sure I follow you there, Theodore. Hey, Heiko, how you doing? Oh, I see. Yeah, well, and to me, Theodore, I think that's a big part of Easior. I think that's a big part of the story for all of us. And I've often talked about things in my life at a young age that were influential in turning me into a car person, turning me into a racing person. Hi, Max. How you doing, buddy? And that is always a factor of how we got here somehow, some way. Certain games. For me, it was model cars. For me, it was my uncle had a Porsche 911 and Targa, and it was just like such a cool car to drive around with him in. There are always factors that bring us in. I don't mind taking a little extra talk, by the way. Couple things. Number one, we are a little bit light on news today, so let's hang out for a while. Number two, with Friday, with Billy Strange being gone and Beyond the Sim being put on hold, I'm getting ready for the concept of hanging out and talking a little more, a little less news, a little more talk. So I'll be paying a little bit more attention to the chat, hopefully, as we move forward with the pit stop. And I guess that goes back to what I'm always saying, too. You guys are the real star of today's show, the pit crew. You are the star of the show. I'm getting tail under the table. That's kind of... No, I'm petting my dog. All right. Let's see here. The guys from SCS Software, the guys behind Euro Truck Simulator, talking about the update for Corsica. This is going to be known as the 1.36 beta update, but Tim tells me they've actually jumped it to being the actual update. So, Viva La France map expansion in the upcoming 1.36 update. I'm sure, Tim, you here? Is it good? Marquise, you got to stick around. We're talking about your rig here today, later at the end of the show. But yeah, the island of Corsica and Euro Truck Simulator features 6 cities. I'm not even. Should I try to say them? Should we start the week off with horrible pronunciation? Ajaccio, Calvi. Part of it I can barely read. Ilk Rus, Bastia, Porto Vecchio, and Bonifacio are the 6 cities. A number of landmarks, sleepy villages, and atmosphere similar to regions surrounding. So that could be very cool for you truck drivers out there. Oh, that's weird, Tim. Hey, Tim, have you tried out Corsica? Is this out now? This is Mediterranean Sea between France and Italy. The island of Corsica. Put the disclaimer. Yeah, I'm sorry. For all those city names that I did brutalize, I apologize, and there's my disclaimer. We're going to do a whole show on me just pronunciating words. All right, Tim. Private investigator Tim Chitwood. We're looking for, what are we getting at here? So this Wednesday is the 3rd Wednesday of the month. I don't know if I remind, I think on the first Wednesday, I think that was the 2nd day of the week of the month, I was like, that means we're going to have an early HotLap HumpDay. So this Wednesday is the Ricmotech HotLap HumpDay. And we'll have Kevin Ford on the mic with me as we race with the guys down at Ricmotech. And I think Robbie Unter is going to have a camera and be on in his rig as well. That might be part of the extra for this coming HotLap HumpDay. Here's our clue, though. We got Chevy Chase. What, are we in the family truckster? Chevy Chase wishes you good luck this upcoming HotLap HumpDay. This is some kind of a cue as to what we may or may not be driving. So that is coming up Wednesday. Totally looking forward to that as well. I have a package according to Max. I didn't play the video for that truck for Corsica, but it does. Look at that. Can we get a full screen without screwing it up? Kinda. That's pretty badass considering this is a video game. Butchering names by dorks. For dorks. All right, so HotLap HumpDay coming up on Wednesday. Jefferson. What? Wreckfest War Wagon. That's what I was thinking, Dave Blair. Maryland. All right. Motorsport.com, so prime time coverage. eNASCAR Heat Pro League Championship 4 is set. The 4 drivers who will battle for the 2019 eNASCAR Heat Pro League. This is after Zach Novak just cleaned up and won the iRacing Peak Antifreeze version. But in the Xbox, we've got I can't even follow it. Oh, all these weird names. They make the title sound like it's gonna happen, like this is the build-up, and then they say starting on the pole for the Xbox race was Justin Brooks. The big winner was, this is in the Xbox competition, so this might be over at this point. Sorry for my mediocre coverage of this. I hope you... do I have to put a disclaimer up for that? The bigger winner was SHG Slick 14X of Stuart Haas Gaming. I wonder what that check looks like with that name. And how do you cash a check that's made out to SHG Slick 14X? In the PS4... Job 25 of Hendrick GC put himself in the perfect spot to win the race on fuel mileage, boosting a command, but a late caution with 3. Oh no! Setting up a sprint to the finish. No, it looks like the Bear 95, Josh Harbin, was able to win in a shootout type finish. Okay. All right, there you go. There's your NASCAR 4 news. Who doesn't use dark mode for Twitter? I'm not logged in, part of it, but in full disclosure, I think my regular one's on light mode. What is the big deal with dark mode? Just out of curiosity. Is that just a preference, or is there some advantage to dark mode? Summit Raceway, Jefferson would be your guess. All right, I'm going to write that down, Tim, Spatial Dragon, because you have been pretty rock solid in this. Summit Raceway, Jefferson course. And this is based on Chevy Chase's place of birth. Got it. Got it. Chase would be NASCAR and iRacing, but it's not. Okay, yeah, you can't HotLap NASCAR, I don't think. All right, here's more white background Twitch. Become McLaren. Oh, so you can join the McLaren team and get a McLaren Plus membership. So when you follow the link, which is at their white Twitter page, you'll find McLaren Plus, bring you closer to the team. What is McLaren Plus? It's our free-to-join fan loyalty program, bringing McLaren fans closer to the team. What's included? Memorable experiences, exclusive events, the chance to meet our drivers, personalized gifts, global competitions, 10% discount at the McLaren store, early bird access to new products. Including you can tell them that you're part of, stay up to date with all the latest McLaren Shadow project news, and click on Shadow. Anyway, if you join their team, you might find yourself with access if Formula One comes to a town near you. You might find yourself with an ability to get tickets through them, or maybe if they're having some kind of an event that you might be able to participate. So it might be worth becoming part of the McLaren loyalty program. You'll find that through their Twitter. Not really sim racing related, but it could get you in to meet Lando Norris, could get you to meet many other people. Rudy Van Buren, Devin Booth, how you doing? Once you go dark. Tom Jones asks if I'm sticking with CV1 or do I plan to try another headset. Take the disclaimer down. Thank you. Dave. Thank you, Dave. Tom, to answer your question, I've been investing money poorly, actually. I bought a green screen that I'm not even using, $160. I bought 2 lights that I will put to use, but I'm not currently using them. So that took it up to like $300. I am considering, I would really, really like to get the Valve Index. I've used it. It seems quite a bit clearer than the Oculus. So that is my goal. I also even still think about like the Pimax, and I also still think, gosh, do I have to just wait 6 more months? Yeah, the Pimax, I would really like to do that. Read an article about it recently that really just made it sound awesome. They go to Coda, Tim. It's not that far. Humble Bumble, what do they got deal-wise? We've covered this. You know, if you're looking for some cheap, especially old games, like you think about the new Grid, and you're like, I never tried the old Grid, and I'm not really into spending it. You can get the original Grid Auto Sport for $8. A lot of people love that version of the game. You don't want to pay for WRC 8? I get it. Cool. WRC 7's only $10. So you might want to check out racing titles, in particular at Humble Bumble. I can never say that right. Humble Bumble. Humble Bundle. Gaming Bull. I haven't read it, but I bring it up all the time. I think it works. Twisted Metal, I think, works as the epitome of when we talk about a car game that is 100% game. Don't even try to talk sim. Don't even talk about physics. Don't even talk about realism. It's Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal is awesome. One of the greatest ever. Anyway, so Gaming Bold has a write-up asking what happened to PlayStation exclusive franchise Twisted Metal. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a rebirth of this title. It's one of those titles that has a cult following, maybe based on the Carnage, and it wasn't churned out year after year. If they were to make a new Twisted Metal, I bet it would be a pretty top-selling game. You can find out Gaming Bolt's opinion on a topic that we bring up here on the show all the time. Look at how bad the graphics are now. It's so sad. My memory of things is usually so much better than when I look at it. It seemed better at the time. I tell you, it really did. Yeah. I butcher everything. I'm sorry, everybody. As your vision gets worse, the game looks better. That's funny. VentureBeat. Darren Cox took a long way to the esport industry, spent a couple of decades in the automotive industry in an alliance between car makers Renault and Nissan. He handled franchising, digital marketing, product management, sponsorships, events, and other things. Well, he has now been hired by Veloce. Isn't it Veloce? And now he runs it. No, Millennial Esport. So in July, he became the CTO of Millennial Esport. This is the company that I have been telling you. We saw a different article on this Darren Cox guy. Anyway, this is a name I'm going to keep bringing up to you guys because this group, Millennial, is behind a lot of the big things like World's Fastest Gamer. So when we start, you think about, and the reason I mention this, Darren Cox is about to become like the Ecclestone, the king of the sanctioning body side of esport. And it'll be a name that'll come up over and over again. I'm seeing a little sparkly right here off my mouse. Why does everything shiny have to become green? Anyway, just an article there. This is at VentureBeat, also talking about him. He's going to be an important person. I've mentioned the X1 Racing League before. Here's a write-up here at CNBC. So this is getting bigger and bigger. This is, the geography-specific type esports. We are breaking the myths around motorsport, says X1 Racing League co-founder Abhinandan Balasubramanian. I think I did all right on that one. But yeah, they're talking about their series, what they're doing to make it special and unique. And you can check that out if you're looking for a good read. I found this at CB. Actually, this was sent in to me by Thawman, CNBCTV18.com, and breaking the myths around motorsport. So I just like to tell you guys, some of these things I'm not going to go into great detail about because it's just more foundation for the topics that we talk about all the time. It's just me showing you how mainstream what we're doing is getting and where we're getting coverage. We talk about the Peak Antifreeze series being on NBC Sports Channel. I mean, that's amazing. Disclaimer. We're still leaving the disclaimer up. I need a beep. When I press the disclaimer, I need an audible beep that reminds me it's going. All right, let's see here. Drive Tribe, talking about the McLaren Shadow Project. Everyone's talking about and their little definition and twist and turn. Just again, I'm mentioning, here we are, primetime, Drive Tribe. Which I'm sure you've been to their site before. Mark England posting an article here talking about, so what's this McLaren Shadow Project everyone's talking about? We know about it. We don't need to go into it. World's Fastest Gamer celebrates 30-day countdown with huge prize giveaway. Again, we're just all over the place. We're a little light on the news, so I just kind of want to show you how much attention we're getting all over the board, all over the place. What else? Here? WTCR, Christofferson puts learning first during WTCR run-in. David Payne. Hey, David Payne, thank you so much. Very, very awesome of you. Much appreciated. Keeping the wheels turning here at the Simpit. The The Swede arrived in WTCR Oscaro as a two-time FIA World Rallycross champion, but with knowledge of only 2 of the 10 tracks on the schedule, the Hungaroring and the Nürburgring Nordschleife, where he claimed his maiden win in the series in June. And a whole write-up there that just came out today talking about that. Anyway, there you go. What else? Obviously just not a lot going on today, you guys. GT Sport daily races, the Roadster Endurance, and Super GT by the Sea. So these are the daily races currently going on at GT Sport. If you're just looking for some fun, that's what you're going to be looking at. Race A, Tokyo Expressway. That's not what we talked about. In the GR4, Dragon Trail Seaside in the GR2, and to Scuba Circuit in the Mazda Roadster are the 3 daily events currently going on. You can use that as a leaderboard competition. What's this? This is the Veloce. Tired of everything giving me notifications. Is there a way to just turn off all notifications? I think there is. I just need to do a little look. You might be able to make them flash. I don't know. I know you can make it so they go dim, but I don't look at it all that much, so it'd be hard for me to really do that right. What on your last one? I missed something there. Gobble Gobble weekend at the top of the CNN tower. Cool. That sounds fun. Tom, no, I do not have any news on Forza 8. Okay, what else? MPA commercial appointed to commercialize Veloce Esports' vast digital platform. Renowned motorsport commercial and marketing agency MPA has been selected by Veloce Esport to work on its sponsorship and partnership development program. London-based Veloce Esport, co-founded by double Formula E champion Shaun. So again, another one of these big things looking to the professional, the same paths. I mean, next thing is our driver's going to start needing some motorsport management, right? Someone suggested I jumped into that world, but I have a feeling we'll be too little too late, as it'll go to the mainstream guys, probably the same kind of managers who are doing real-life motorsport. If you unplug your computer, well, thank you, Dave. Taco Tuesdays, always. Okay, just sticking with you guys. What else? Esport, the Herald Media. Esport Market Sunday. Gosh, I'm bored with my news today, to be honest with you guys. Turnaround updates revealed. I am. It's like Esport. That's great. I just on Friday, didn't we talk about the concept of Esport having a negative impact? Is Esport diluting our world of sim racing just a little bit? Is it becoming like too much of the focal point of our sim racing world at this point? Herald Media talking about the Esport Market Study. Turnaround updates revealed. A recently published study by Fact MR estimates the global Esport market to exhibit a steady expansion over the forecast period of 2017 through 2022. So when we talk about the concept of a bubble burst, at least this one article saying, yeah, but don't expect any of that to happen before 2022. Devin, he has a team that I can manage without doing anything. I love it. All right, what else? Need for Speed Heat features full dynamic weather system, reasons to explore the entire Palm City world, and much more. We talked about Grid and how Grid was a arcade racer, and you know, there's a good need. We talked about Twisted Metal, an arcade driving game of carnage. Now Need for Speed Heat represents that as well, in my opinion. And I think they've gone back and forth or on a roller coaster of whether they wanted Need for Speed to be serious or whether they wanted it to be hardcore or whether they wanted it to be just a straight-up arcade racer. I think it's pretty clear they've gone the route of the arcade racer, and with Need for Speed Heat, we're setting in South Florida, I believe Miami-esque, entire Palm City world, and they're going to have dynamic weather, and apparently, through the words of Operation Sports, there's all sorts more worthy of doing. And at this article here that you'll find at Operation Sports, you also have their other details. They've been all over Need for Speed. So car customization, what can you do, achievements and trophies, car list, welcome to Palm City. So you'll find all sorts of cool stuff. I'll click on welcome to Palm City, and that's, these are the pages that have been created through Need for Speed. Come on, get ahead of yourself there. Tidor says it's going to be hard to beat Grid. Billy Strange, best spotter pack ever. I agree. But I don't use spotters because I have the flashy light thing. Get out of the stock market. That's your favorite startup message. We should get some of those as background noises for the show here when we get a donation or subscriber, any of those kind of things. Speed Maniacs talking about American Truck Simulator DirectX 11 and new game content in the new open beta V1.36. So I guess it's Euro Truck and American Truck. Tim is officially my Euro and American Truck Simulator expert, in-house expert. So I have to turn to him. But another article talking about that 1.36 update as well. Billy has insider info? Oh, we're going to have to talk offline then for sure. What else? DrivingItalia.net. Questioning, what is the best starter sim? So Chris Hay did a video that is trying to answer that very question, and you can check that out at Chris Hay. I've checked out enough of his videos. I've heard good things from a lot of people about Chris Hay. Anyway, best starter sim, question mark. What's your opinion? If you had a new friend getting into sim racing tomorrow, what is the first sim that you would put them in? Like, you have a friend coming over to your house, and you're determined to make him try sim racing. Where are you going to start? For me, it might change slightly depending on who they are and what their experience in driving is. If it was a racing friend, maybe I'd have a different approach than somebody who, that was a long time ago. Thank you, Sim Racing 604. Anyway, what else? Let's move on to our stuff. We're almost to the end of the show, you guys. I have a few things to show you and talk about. We have a few cool things to show you here at the end of the show. Let's start off with the Simpit Pro Sim Racing Russell Alex series on sim racing systems. Feldberg Ring is where they raced last Thursday night. Chris Saucier took the pole for the event as they got ready to go underway in those beautiful Formula Ford cars. And in the end, he was able to finish He finished in P1 as well. So good job by him. And looking at the point standings, it is Chris Saucier who is leading in the points with a 4-point advantage over Rick Longano. Great job, Rick. And Caden Russell sitting in third place. And if you would like to see that last week's race, Thursday night's race, you can go to Pro Sim Racing on YouTube, and you will see it all from Shaun Seabrand's perspective. That's what it's like racing there at Feldberg Ring. Never been there myself. Sounds like it was a good race. And if you're ever interested in joining the Simpit Pro Sim Racing Systems Assetto Corsa series, just head over to Sim Racing Systems and look for that. Those races are on Thursday nights. Nice night for everybody to race out there. So I'm trying to get back out and do a few of those races as well. It's just taking me a little bit of work, but you can always follow them there at Pro Sim Racing on YouTube or get in on the series yourself. What else? Let's talk about some sim rigs real quick. This here coming to us from Reddit. This is posted by Lecky93. I'm so jealous of these is that a 49? Are they all 49? Is that just like the basic size? He's got a Simlag P1 chassis. Looks like some sort of a direct drive wheel and a nice looking wheel rim on it. Some custom mounted pedals even. Nice looking rig there. That is a really clean, perfect sim rig right there. You gotta like that. What else? Here's another one, a little harder to see. Can we blow this up a little bit? This comes to us from Charlie 186. Look at that beast of a profile on casters. At first look, I thought it was on actuators, like a motion sim. That thing is a rugged beast. That makes even a P1 racing look a little flimsy, to be honest with you. Funny enough, is that pulling up? This is a wheel it up to his desk rig. And then the wheel either goes on the desk, which is a sin. That's a glass table. He can't do that. It must somehow bolt across on that rig when he pulls up to it. But right there, the way it sits, it doesn't look like the wheel is actually mounted in the proper spot. What else? Check this. Is this that crazy rig, or did somebody just build their own crazy rig? Or is this that crazy, like, $10,000 rig that doesn't do anything? I think it is one of those. First time I've seen one in, like, the hands of a normal human, I guess. Sharky351 posted this on Reddit. Looks awesome. I mean, that would be cool if you had the room. I'd definitely like to have one of those. I'd like to game in one of those. Why not? It looks awesome. I don't think I'm going to pay for it. And then finally, check this out. Marquise Goodman. This is your rig. He posts as Mr. Schumacher on rig. On Reddit, but we are looking at his Playseat Sensation Pro, which I'm not a huge Playseat guy, but I will say the Sensation Pro is an awesome rig. He's got a Leo Bodner 54G, a DSD sequential shifter with a turn racing wheel. Great looking setup. Let's get a closer shot of that. There we go. He's got that cool, look at that nice sequential shifter as well. Nice looking rig, Marquise. Very nice looking rig. Beyond that, what else do I have to talk about? Friday night we raced in the Skippies, and we had a really fun race. I don't know if everybody here was there. Really fun race. We are going to do the Simpit Skippy series. The series starts this Friday night. The race room will open at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The qualifying will be, the top of his wheel is missing. The qualifying will be at 6, and the beginning of the race will be about, it ends up being like between 6:13 and 6:15 to be very, very specific. We are running Road Atlanta, Phoenix Road Course circa 2008, Oran Park Grand Prix, Road America Full, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, Sebring. Our final race weekend is going to be a doubleheader. We're going to do Sebring International and Homestead Miami Speedway. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. A Speedway in the Skip Barber car to finish off the 7 race in 6 week season. Anybody who would like to join, go on to iRacing, go to the league section, do a search for Simpit Skippy Series, and then just apply to the league, and I will accept you, and racing begins this Friday night. Just to make it great and awesome for everybody, this is the same schedule the real iRacing series is running. So that way, if you practice with those open rooms, you'll be able to race with us. You could then take that ability and that extra experience and go race more public races. So great opportunity to hone your skills in the Skippy, race against our crowd specifically, and be that much more prepared to race against the public. So that starts this Friday night over the next 6 weeks following Friday nights. So very excited about that. And then I'm going to I saw a picture on our Discord, and then I actually found the actual post on Facebook. So check this out. Look at that podium. Is that not like some warp skip level photography podium? No, that is a cake. Happy birthday to Jacob Varga. Jacob Varga. And here is the birthday boy himself with his cake. That is a cake that was made for his birthday of his favorite obsession in life being sim racing and his Fanatic podium wheel. There's a little side-by-side shot. There is his Fanatic podium wheel right next to his 30th birthday cake, which just is so awesome. One of the coolest cakes I've ever seen. My mom didn't make me a sim racing cake. You can see the steering wheel there. I love it. That is the coolest cake ever. So happy birthday, Jacob, and congratulations on the coolest cake I've ever seen in my entire life. And that is a perfect way to end today's show. Happy Monday to everybody out there. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope this kicked off the week so that you can get out there and do some sim racing, get motivated, have some fun, win some races, get some trophies, get some big smiles, and have a good time. But we'll be back Wednesday for another episode of The Pit Stop, and I will be live on Twitch as soon as tonight. Just doing some final, as I said, we're getting some things really dialed in, and that's going to be able to get us to turn the lights on a little more often. But that's going to do it for this one. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.